And welcome to Advanced Shouting alongside Dan Petru and Michael Martin. I had the wheel of death right there going live.
Oh, it froze on you?
It froze.
I'm like, what the hell's happening here?
Come on, bitch, let's go. But we're finally here. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. And if you can celebrate it, hope you enjoyed your week off from watching us. But we got some news regarding the NHL. Will they, won't they? But it looks like there's going to be a will.
Wait. Look at the comment. What's the lead? Happy birthday, Michael.
Thank you, guys.
Happy birthday. That was like a week ago. But
older than time.
I didn't build any graphics or anything like that. I'm sorry. I'll get the next one when you hit 30. Sure.
Great friend.
The NHL. Yeah, very close. Very close. You just have to work on the economics. That's all. But at least we got the framework of what the seasons could look like and when it's going to start.
Is that a question or a statement?
I don't know. It was all cutting out. You sound like shit, dude. You seriously sounded like Charlie Brown's teacher.
I appreciate the kind words. Does it still sound like shit?
No, that's much better.
Just keep talking.
Yeah,
and don't.
You know what? Why don't you log off and the adults here will talk until you come back on.
Hey, thanks, Stephanie. Appreciate it. Welcome.
Happy Friday, Carly.
Friday.
Thanks everybody for showing up. Now Noel's going to log off. This is the best Noel I've seen so far. It's the best he's ever been on the show. I'm just kidding. What he was trying to say is it looks like the season is going to start sometime in January. After a week, Michael, earlier in the week, it seemed like there'd be a chance that there is no season. Right. And now all of a sudden we are looking at potentially having a season and things are a lot more optimistic. It looks like they are going to hammer out all the details. So how do you feel about a 56-game season, which is pretty much like one of the lockouts we've had?
I think it's good only because it will probably, we'll hand out the Stanley Cup in July sometime.
Don't mind me.
He doesn't care about anything I'm saying.
I do. It's just the TV's blowing everything out. I swear I'm listening. Go ahead.
No, I think it's kind of a necessity only because you want to end the season July at the latest so you can have a normal 2021-22 season. You know, a full 82 game schedule for the following year. So, any more games than that, you run the risk of handing out the cup in August?
Right. We don't want to. This gives them a better chance of being back in an October start the following year.
Exactly. Did you hear that crazy rumor about the possibility of them playing outdoor games?
I don't mind that.
I don't mind it either, but I don't know.
It's a desperate plea to get some fans in the stadium.
Yeah, that's true.
Because suddenly these billionaires are broke, right?
Oh my God! So
we really lost $300 million last year. Show us.
Right. Exactly. Open the books.
Yeah, show the books. Yeah, just show us the fraud.
Let's see. Exactly.
But he's back.
He's back. God, that was the best segment we've ever had.
To your point, Rob, they canceled the Winter Classics because they don't know when the season's going to start. And because we really can't have any fans there, the pitch of some of the teams playing home games outside is a long shot. We don't think it's going to happen. The thought of it's kind of cool, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen as well. Hopefully with a vaccine on the horizon, at some point this season, there will be fans back in the building.
I don't see them playing those Winter Classic type games outdoors because how expensive can those games be?
The cost has to be through the roof, you would think, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Some of those places, I don't even know they're allowing fans. That's probably why the New York teams weren't doing it. Some of the other places. But to have a stadium out like that, to get the ice, in game condition for how long? You're not going to tear up the stadium and leave the ice in there. So you're probably going to, if you're going to have those games, play at least 5 home games in a row.
And how does let's say, for example, I think one of the teams that won was Boston, right? So let's assume it's at Fenway Park, right? How does leaving a rink on the field for 3 or 4 months, how does that affect the field? What does that do to when the Red Sox come back? Because you're going to have the seasons overlap. I just logistically, as cool as an idea as it sounds, because I would love to drive to Boston and go sit in the Monster and watch a game. as cool as the logistics sound, I don't think it's possible.
I mean, the only way it could possibly happen is if it's all Canadian stadiums, because they don't have any other sports being played there. I don't know when Canadian football season starts, but
soon, right? Don't they start like in January?
Oh, okay, so that wouldn't work.
Rob, the reason why some of the owners want outdoor games is because of the loss to make up the lost revenue from last season and potentially this season of no fans in the building. For example, if the Penguins play at Heinz Field, and you can only have 10% capacity, that's still close to maybe half of an empty arena, right? Half of Heinz Field's probably around 7,000 people, 6,000 to 7,000 people. So that would, or 10%. So that would still, that's like having a crappy night on a Monday night at a home game for, against the Coyotes or something. So I think they had mentioned that because they want to have some kind of revenue coming in from the gate this year.
What you could do, I mean, this is obviously just spitballing here. You could make some of those outdoor sites like a hub.
Yes, I think that would be a good idea.
Have maybe 4 Canadian cities per stadium like that, and do that way. Get those games in outdoors in the span of maybe 2 to 3 weeks, and then shut it down. You
could probably play 2 games a day. I don't know if the ice can handle more than that.
No, but you could probably do a game every day or every other day, or something like that. If you get like the Western Canadian teams, and the Eastern ones, kind of do it that way. But I'm just kind of spitballing here. But it looks like we'll get some hockey, and the season will probably end mid-July.
And that's good. That's like 2 weeks later than it normally would. So
exactly.
Exactly. So it's good there. And NBA starts in a couple weeks already. So I know we don't talk NBA here, but that's going to start. Still no fans yet. Hopefully later in the year there will be fans.
I don't know if you saw today. So far, that every player in the league was pre-tested. 43 of them tested positive.
Wow.
So that just shows what happens when you get outside the bubble. Right. When they were inside the bubble, they had no positive tests. That's the problem going forward. How are teams going to have a whole season and not – because, look, the NFL is a hot mess, and we'll get to that, with all their COVID tests and forcing teams to play when they're down 15 to 16 players. There's only 12 players on the basketball team. If you lose 5 of them, you're screwed.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah. Well, they have G League teams, and they have.
I know, but still, it's a much smaller roster.
Yeah, you can have a 3-on-3 tournament. That's fine.
I'm fine with that. 3-on-3. Yeah.
Yeah. Or just do 1-on-1. Just do
Bird versus what was the video game? Bird versus Jordan.
Bird versus Jordan. We're 128. Yeah, but so hopefully by next show there'll be some sort of definitive resolution, regarding all this. So we'll see what happens there.
Well, I'm hopeful that there will be hockey in January, and next November there'll be fans in the stands. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So.
I hope you're a fan somewhere, because now that I'm living in New York, I'm 20 minutes from every sports team here, and I can't go to any games.
But what's interesting, though, is this is the last season of the current television deal that NBC Sports has. So they're going to be bidding for it. There's talk that ESPN is going to be bidding for it. And Dan and I know personally that it's not good. I don't think it'd be a good fit for ESPN again.
Well, I don't think it would be a good fit if it's just ESPN.
No, what's
that?
I think it'd have to be a couple networks. If
it's NBC, TBS, and ESPN, that's fine.
Right. Because if it's just ESPN again, they'll try to do Wednesday night hockey, and then they'll get bumped by every other sport possible.
Yeah, they'll be on the Ocho.
Yeah.
Stanley Cup final, Game 7, Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. on the Ocho.
Yeah, exactly. So it's. And
I think you might see. Sorry, no, I meant to interrupt you. From some people I've been talking to, because the Premier League deal is up soon as well, and a lot of the streaming sites are pushing hard to make a splash in sports. And I know Amazon, Hulu are going hard after the Premier League, and there was some talk that Amazon and Hulu were going after the NHL as well. So that could be interesting.
Yeah,
that would be interesting.
That's fine. They have the money to back it, and.
Especially Amazon. They just wait. Let's all pause for a second. And Jeff Bezos just made $10,000.
$10,000. Come on.
$100,000. $100,000.
Exactly. Well, you just think if that was the case, and let's say Amazon does it exclusively, they probably can't do it exclusively because there has to be some kind of broadcast element to it. But how much more the salary cap go up? You think if they had and that would be an NBA size TV deal, but it would be much more than what NBC has now.
Well, I mean, when the Canadian contract, the CBC contract, kicked in a few years ago, that bumped the cap up about $5 million per team.
Right.
So you would have to think a new deal coming in, and then the expansion money from Seattle. That would be quite a bit of revenue coming in for a 1 to 2 year period.
Yeah. Well, that being said, if there's no fans this year, the cap isn't going up again.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So
what is it at right now? 60?
72, right?
72, I think, right?
72.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was lower than that.
Yeah. And in comparison, I think LeBron James signed a 2-year deal worth probably $45 million per year, so he would take up a lot of the cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
you guys talking basketball?
Well, just I was comparing it to basketball.
No, I was talking like what's the NHL salary cap right now? 75.
72, I believe, right?
I think it's
72 or 79.
I think it's 72. I think you're right.
Okay.
It could be 79. I don't know. We're spitballing. Hey, if anybody in the comments wants to Google what the NHL salary cap is, that'd be great. Okay. Okay, Noel's really doing it.
I am doing it. You guys
you produced the show. I'll do it. Hold on.
85 and 81.
We were close, 85.
We were way off, man. Bad job by us.
I was off by 25 million. Jesus.
None of us can go on right.
1990, maybe.
Yeah. But in comparison to like the NBA cap, which I have no idea what it is because it's a soft cap, and basically every team is over the cap because they sign their players to an NHL salary cap.
$1 billion.
Yeah. Like Connor McDavid is probably the highest paid player, right? 13 and a half.
Yeah.
He'd be like the 7th highest paid player.
So.
Oh, he did it again.
He did it again.
I love that Trumbull, Connecticut, the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. What are you on dial-up there, buddy?
Well, I'm here. What's up?
You just froze again.
I did. Okay.
He's using those AOL CDs, and he ran out of minutes.
No, I have Lance Armstrong in the closet on the bike, so I have to tell him to keep it up.
Hey, I don't want to know what you're doing with Lance Armstrong in the closet. That's your business.
You remember those old commercials?
I do remember that ESPN commercial. Yes, when those commercials were still funny.
Yeah, the only guy here was still on MySpace.
Yeah, I better tell Tom to hurry it up.
Yeah, come on, Tom. Oh, yeah. There we go. Thank you, Lisa. The NBA cap is $109 million for 12 players.
Wow, that's insane.
Well, 3 of them go over because every player,
go over, right?
Yeah, you can go over to sign your own players, which is whatever. Why have a cap?
Absurd.
Yeah, well, why have a cap? But all right, so some good news regarding another sport here is women's soccer, and the USA Soccer said they've been a long-going dispute here about pay equality. They didn't get that yet, but they got a lot of other issues settled. They're not going to play on AstroTurf anymore, which is amazing that they were playing on that.
That's disgusting that they had to play on turf.
Yeah, they'll have the comparable hotel and charter flights, which the men's team does, which also is ridiculous because which team here is the better team?
Right.
Like
the men's national team should be carrying their bags.
Exactly.
Yeah, it should be carrying the women's bags everywhere.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
You can't beat Trinidad and Tobago to go to the World Cup. Fuck you.
I mean, it's not fair. It's a handicap match. Trinidad and Tobago versus the U.S., so it's not fair.
And yeah, that's true. They did lose to 2 countries, but no, still.
Right.
Now, with that being said, what happened to the men's national team 4 years ago? This is a completely different looking men's national team now. I actually think for the first time, maybe since the early 90s, there's some legit excitement here. They have some very good young players. Christian Pulisic is one of the best players in the world, which is something they've never had. So I think there is excitement here, but they cannot hold a candle to what the women's national team has done the past 25 years and what they're doing right now.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, it was exciting. Last week during the Champions League, there were 7 American players on different teams playing.
Right.
The first female referee to arbitrate a Champions League game, an American girl. That was a huge step she refed some significant games before, but this was, the real thing. So, no, it's great. I think women should get equal pay, especially in soccer, because you were talking about it the other day. You asked a random person on the street to name one U.S. men's national team player.
I couldn't.
But you ask about the women's, and they can probably rattle off 2 or 3. It doesn't matter if it's current or in the last 20 years, but they know the women's game is so much more sort of known in America than the men's game.
Right. And now you have a lot of the women players are playing in the Premier League, and you're noticing a big growth there as well too. And it's something we had talked about in the past, that the Women's Premier League, it's actually going to be part of a package with the next Premier League deal. So there's going to be a lot more. There's going to be a lot more exposure to that, which is great. Soccer is really taking off. The fact that you can watch every game now. When we were younger, you could not watch Premier League games. I'm going to read that comment in a second. I think it's funny. But I think now we've seen the growth of, look, these women are going overseas and they're making some serious coin. They don't have to work 17 jobs and play here. And same thing with the men. The men are going overseas and making some coin too. Now, what does that leave for the state of domestic soccer here when it comes to club teams like the MLS and the women's league as well? Look, that's another discussion that we can have. I don't know what that does, but for the growth of this sport, our best players need to be playing in Europe. That comment says, the U.S. soccer team visited an orphanage in Brazil. I've never seen such desperation and hopelessness on their faces, says Major H6. Oh, Joanna for the win.
That is fucking hilarious.
That's the best thing ever said on this show.
Yeah, that is amazing. Oh, my God. I might have to use that, and I will quote you, Joanna.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Good night, everyone.
No, that's a mic drop right there.
She's not wrong.
No. I think I'm just going to have it on the running ticker the whole show. And from now
I agree.
Yeah, but like in regards to the MLS, you basically, I mean, I'm a novice, and I'll totally admit that. So basically, it's a equivalent to a AA baseball league.
Yeah, and AA is probably your best level of minor league baseball. So I would say it's a AA league. Now, look, you go back 20 years, and it was rookie ball. So there has been significant improvements.
So basically, you get, like, obviously, you get the has-beens coming over.
No, I would say AAA is your has-beens. So I would say,
I mean, like, the older guys, who made name for themselves, the Roy Kent, so to speak, and Ted Lasso. Come.
Right, but even those guys coming here are still very good here.
But they're named. They're basically meant to sell tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but you're not getting the legit prospect who is probably being a starter on Arsenal or Man City, right?
For the most part, no. But what you are seeing now, and I think for the league to really grow here, you need to see more partnerships like what you're starting to see, how Real Salt Lake is aligned with Real Madrid, how NYCFC is owned by Manchester City, and they're taking players who are younger, they're 18, 19-year-old players, and to get them more playing time, they're sending them over here to play. So that's how you're really going to get a flux of players in the MLS, is if you can get these partnerships. Arsenal and the Red Bulls have had a partnership for a while too, where you can, when you get some of those younger players who are just sitting on the bench, and you can get them playing time, playing against good players, and also helping the league over here in the United States. That's what you need.
Yeah, and the quality of play that they would be subjected to overseas would only, potentially and hopefully make for a real legit national team.
Right. And actually, Rob says, I'm sorry the women are better in soccer, but they get zero attention outside the World Cup. That is not exactly true.
I kind of agree with him. It's changing,
mm-hmm.
but I think outside of the World Cup, which creates a frenzy around women's soccer,
true.
Between those 4 years, you never hear a peep about it.
That's where I think the growth of the Premier League is so important for women's soccer, the growth of the Women's Premier League. Because pre-pandemic, Tottenham and Arsenal had 62,000 people to watch a women's game, which was a new record. I
didn't know that. That's amazing.
So the interest is there. Everybody wants to see the best. So now the fact that Americans are coming over, a lot of the Americans are playing for Manchester United and Tottenham. A lot of the Dutch players are playing for Arsenal. Some of the Swiss players are playing for Villa. So if you want to see the best. So if the best are there, I think people are responding. And look, like I said, I think 5 years from now, you're really going to see a growth of the women's game where it'll be just commonplace to see a very large crowd and it being on television on a Saturday morning.
But I think,
speaking up to this point, he's correct.
Yeah, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, Rob, but I feel like he's talking about here specifically.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Here, sure.
Yeah.
But like little Timmy, little Tommy in like Nebraska who wants to play soccer, which U.S. player is he really looking up to? Where as opposed, but does anybody really know him?
No, he's one of the 20 best players in the world.
But does anyone know him here?
Yes. No. If you like soccer, you know who he is.
Yeah, of course.
Even if I don't like soccer, I know who Alex Morgan is.
Right. Correct. And that's the fault of the men's national team for not making a World Cup.
But do they, pump him up? Do they give him publicity? Does he have any endorsements here? Like, yes. Does he? What does he have?
Whatever Chelsea sponsor is. His sponsorships are through Chelsea, not through the men's national team.
So it's nothing that I can see in the States. So it's everything overseas, probably.
Well, I don't know. Watch a game on Saturday morning. I don't watch Chelsea because they're a bunch of racist fucks. So, being honest.
I'm just saying, but my wife, who doesn't know anything about basketball, knows who LeBron James is.
Yeah,
so
yes, you're right. But once again, that's the failure.
Wait. He's one of the most famous athletes on the planet.
True.
I mean, a fucking monk in a Mongolian cave knows who LeBron James is. So that's, does she know who Davis is?
The world, right? Soccer's the biggest game in the world, isn't it?
Yes, but it also, once again, Noel, goes back to the original part of this conversation. The failure of the men's national team has caused that problem, not the player himself.
I'm not blaming the player. I'm not blaming the player.
But they've never had a 20-year-old kid this good, ever.
And they have, like you were saying a few minutes ago, they have legit between 7 and 15 young kids that are playing overseas that are the real deal. They're young, but they could blossom into like really good World Cup players.
Right.
I mean, the U.S. has to get out of a group stage at some point.
Yeah. When was the last time they had like a friendly, the U.S. team, and played another country?
A couple of weeks ago, they beat somebody was it Jamaica? I think they beat 5-1.
Okay, because I mean, you mentioned all these players. They're great. But how do they mesh together? That's the key. I don't care that there's 15 great U.S. players playing overseas. How are they playing together? And can they compete with the top 16 countries in the world?
Well, when you bring them together after they've been seasoned in Europe for 2 or 3 or 4 seasons, and you have a 2 or 3 month training camp like they do for most national teams, I think we have a chance of seeing the best U.S. national team we've ever seen.
Okay,
maybe barring the '94 team.
I think this team will be better than the '94 team.
Yeah,
and this brings us Dark Ages 9117 with a good question here. In 2026, the World Cup is supposed to be held in Mexico, Canada, and America. I'm very fascinated by the prospect of the United States hosting the World Cup once again. My question is, with the men's team not being up to par with the European teams in Brazil, should they write off the 2022 World Cup and begin to put a plan together for 26? No, they shouldn't write off 2022 at all. With the prime of these players coming up, they might be 2022 might be a little too soon, but they will make the World Cup in 2022. I fully believe that. And I think they can do some damage because a lot of these other teams are getting a little bit older. I think Italy's down. Brazil's not what it's used to be. South America's a little bit in flux. The Dutch and the Belgians are getting a little bit old too. Actually, England's a team on the rise, but they always fall on their face. So that's another story for another time. I don't think you give up any World Cup. You try and qualify, you try and compete, because that exposure, even if you only make it out of the first stage, that exposure from 2022 will get Noel the notoriety he wants to get from these kids, and then that will carry over 4 years to when they're in the United States, and then you can really blow it up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that.
See, that's also one of the things that's hurts soccer in the States, because it's a 4-year sport. It's every 4 years. And these players, unless you're really invested in like a really hardcore player, they're going to watch these games on Saturday morning. And
no, those games get better ratings than NHL games.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything gets better ratings than NHL.
I'm just saying.
But I'm not talking about that. But those players play in this country. They play here that's their league. And I'm just talking about, like, it's like the Olympic hockey. You see that every 4 years, everyone gets excited. Maybe you get a bump for a month or two after this, the Olympics, and then it goes back. Everyone forgets about it, and that's why I still think soccer here is it's a World Cup sport every 4 years.
That's fair, but I think where it's been from 10, 15, 20 years ago, there's been incredible growth.
That if the men's teams makes a run to the semifinals, let's say, God forbid, that could change.
And yes, Joanna, the United States automatically qualifies for 2026 because they're a host country.
Yeah. But
by the way, if we're all alive in 2026, I really want to go to a game. And obviously, Mexico could get a little dicey, and America will probably be. Why don't we should go see a game? I'm sure there'll be a game in Montreal or Toronto. Let's all meet there in 2026. Write it down.
Sounds like a plan.
World Cup game in Montreal.
You don't want to go in 2022 in Qatar?
I do not want to go to Qatar in 2022. No, it's it's in the winter and it's 134 degrees in the shade.
Yeah, they used to sign my paychecks, so.
That's right, they did. They did briefly sign my paycheck too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, so let's. Interesting story this week. It's a little bit of history. We had the first female player to play in one of the Power 5 football conferences, Sarah Fuller for Vanderbilt, the kicker, who started the second half off with a excellently executed squib kick. Everyone was up in arms on her because it only went 30 yards.
A lot of experts on Twitter that were apparently former place kickers. I never knew that.
Exactly. And it went 30 yards. That's what squib kicks do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, which was fine. Naturally, the coach got fired the next day because it's Vanderbilt football and they stink. But the coach should have had her just kick it through the stands, through the end zone, just to show, which she does have that leg. But it's a big inspirational story. She did get the SEC Co-Special Teams Player of the Week award. I know people were upset about that, but you know what? It's groundbreaking that she played in one of these games. She's not the first, but she's the first in these, Power 5 football conferences to do so. So congratulations to Sarah. And of course, COVID strikes again because their game got postponed tomorrow because there's a lack of healthy players on both teams.
Could you imagine you have two teams with a combined 120 players and you don't have enough to field the two teams?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'm sorry, no, not to interrupt, but what happened? So their season's just over, right?
No, it's still going on.
Okay.
I'll reschedule, I believe, for the following week. They're not making a bowl this year. They're 0-8 now. Yeah, exactly. So the coach got fired on Sunday. As you're reading in the ticker, their announcer who has coach's show resigned because he was under the influence, let's see, in the coach's show. So he resigned. And then
he was doing the show drunk?
Yeah, he was drunk.
What? I've done many shows drunk. Turned out, right?
So, yeah. And then today they announced the cancellation of the game or postponement. So it's been an interesting week for Vanderbilt football.
Yeah, it's a great week for Sarah Fuller. That's the only good news coming out of Vanderbilt this week. Great. Yeah. Look, if you're qualified, you should get the chance, and I think that's what happened here. She's one of the best players on their soccer team. She has a bomb of a leg. They suck. They need a kicker. Fine.
Yeah. The only thing that would have been better is that she kicks the ball off. Someone returns it. She lowers the boom on the dude and lays him out.
Right.
That highlight would have been played for the next 50 years on a loop on every station.
Right.
And the player who she tackled would get out of football forever.
Yeah.
She's strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I looked up some of her videos. She does have a hell of a leg, that's for sure.
Yeah. So hopefully she'll get a chance in their next game, a week from tomorrow, with a new coach. So
I'd like to see her drill like a third 45-yard field goal. That'd be awesome.
I would too.
They're 0-8. Why?
Even an extra point if they could score a touchdown. Hey, the Jets need a kicker.
No, they don't. Actually, yes, they do. They've got a great punter. Their punter's fine. He might be a Pro Bowl punter.
If your punter's the best player on your team, you have a problem.
No. He's no great guy.
Don't get me started with the Jets.
No, sorry. We said no Jets this week. Sorry.
Yeah, you triggered me. Please don't.
I did.
I'm being good, yeah. I have the paper bag over there. I can put it on.
You guys should have seen our pre-show when we got our pre-show meeting before the show, but Dole and I got into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's leave it off there. Okay. We'll do trivia?
Let's do trivia.
Let's do trivia, boys. Since football really is the only game in town, today's question is name every single, if you can, pro football quarterback who was, where is it? Hold on. Who's in the Hall of Fame?
Okay.
And I don't know who goes first. You guys want to? I'll flip a coin.
Okay.
Okay.
Kings heads, NHL tails. No, call it.
NHL.
You got it.
All right. I'll defer.
Wow.
Ooh.
All right. Joe Montana.
Yes, sir.
Joe Willie Namath.
I was going to say that one, but I figured I'd leave it for you.
Thank you.
Johnny Unitas.
Yes.
Y.A. Tittle.
Oh, I wanted to say Y.A. Tittle. It's the most fun name to say in the world. Norm Van Brocklin.
Ooh.
Yes. Well, you guys are going deep. I like it.
My dad's favorite player growing up. It's the reason he's an Eagles fan.
George Blanda.
Yep.
Roger Staubach.
No, Starbuck, not Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Roger Starbucks.
Roger Starbucks.
Okay. Give me Dunkin' Donuts. Okay. No. Troy Aikman.
Yes.
Brett Favre.
Yes.
Wait, before we continue, Carly says, I used to go with my brother to pick up basketball games for boys. They were 3 years older than me, and I would tug at my shorts sometimes. I punched the guy in the face, and they never touched my shorts again. Well done, Carly.
That's
well
all.
done.
Awesome. I love it.
No, that's a loose ball foul. Okay. All right. I go.
You
Okay.
got-
Bart Starr.
Yes.
Fran Tarkenton.
Yes.
Dan Fouts.
Oh, nice.
Dan Marino.
Yes.
John Elway.
Without a Super Bowl.
John Elway.
Yep.
Kurt Warner.
Mm.
Terry Bradshaw.
Steve Young.
Yes.
Sid Luckman.
Ooh. Hold on. Yes. That's the one I thought you definitely wouldn't get.
Yeah.
Jim Kelly.
Yes.
Warren Moon.
Yep.
That's where I was going next. We're in trouble.
Do you want a hint?
No. So
No.
it's Pro Football Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah.
Stalling.
You're missing a couple of legends. Well,
Did
one.
I say Johnny Unitas already?
Yes.
Okay. Fuck.
Well, legend might be but in his time he was regarded as.
Legend? I'm missing a legend.
No, he's legendary. He had a nickname.
Well, if he had a nickname. Ken Stabler?
Yeah, the Snake.
The Snake. Was that who you were talking about?
That's one of them. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Noel doesn't need help apparently.
Let's see. I don't want to screw this first name up. I always do. Bob Greasy.
Nice. That's the other one I was thinking about.
Brian. Okay.
You're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Wow.
I'm trying to go old. I'm trying to think of Super Bowls. We did the whole Super Bowl thing a couple weeks ago. Len Dawson?
Lynn Dawson. Yes. Nice pull.
That was good.
In my head, I'm trying to go through each Super Bowl.
I might have to go further back now. Otto Graham.
Yeah, good one.
That's a good one. I'll go back. I don't have to go back far too. So who was good like in the 50s? Bobby Lane?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. This is getting hard.
That was good. That was really good.
Thanks.
I think you're only missing 3 now. Oh, 1, 2, 4.
Sonny Jurgensen.
Oh, that was I had him in my head.
Nice.
Ah.
All the remainders are very early.
I don't know.
There's one guy I've literally never heard of, but that doesn't mean anything.
You said Greasy?
Yeah.
All right.
There's how many more? 2? 3?
One.
I don't think this is right. But like I got nothing. Jim Plunkett.
No. Plunkett is not on the list. You were
Hold on,
missing
no.
Sammy Baugh.
Who?
Sammy Baugh.
Don't know who that is.
And
Norm Van Brocklin.
No, I said him.
You did?
Yeah.
Bob Waterfield.
I don't know who those two are. Okay, I did the best.
The least good Waterfield.
I had no idea.
I've never even heard his name. So
no, I didn't even speak Van Brocklin next night, so I was done after that.
The only reason I know Van Brocklin is because, like, literally, he was my dad's favorite player.
Oh, that's what everyone said that. The Eagles. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Okay.
Good job, boys.
Good job, Noel.
That was good.
Very impressive.
Cool. Yeah, that was good. All right. So interesting. We're not doing cards. We're doing kind of like I'll show. I didn't show either one of these guys. I want them to have a little bit of a laugh. So here we go. And one thing we don't talk about on the show are darts, right? So this is
oh my god!
Oh my god!
We love Jockey Wilson. He's all world dart player. He passed away about 8 years ago, 1982 and 89. World Darts champion.
Wow, that's a long run.
Yeah, the funniest.
And 89, not.
No. Two. Yeah. But he got banned from competing once because he punched out an official. And he loved sweets so much that he rarely brushed his teeth. And it shows right there. So, yeah.
Wow.
Where is he from?
He is from Scotland.
Okay, no jokes there about people from the United Kingdom and teeth.
No.
Yeah. So, figured yeah, so maybe.
Hey, one thing before we go, try and promote the show a little bit more. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. But I was supposed to, I wanted to host a trivia night for some of my buddies tomorrow, but none of them got back to me because you two are the only 2 friends I have. So I want to change it up a little bit since I have nothing to do tomorrow night, which is very rare because I'm such a popular person. No, because I'm always working. I came up with a trivia night, all generic sport, all different kind of sports questions. I'll probably take about an hour. If you two aren't doing anything, that'd be great if you can join me. Maybe like around 8 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. You need to be drinking. But I want to throw it out to all our fans out there. If you guys are interested in doing a little advanced shouting trivia, hit us up on Twitter. If we get more than 6 people, we'll do it. So if you're interested, hit us up on Twitter. We'll do it tomorrow night.
I cannot do it tomorrow night, unfortunately.
That's fine. I'm just throwing it out there.
Let's do it next Saturday.
Next Saturday? Okay, maybe we'll do it next Saturday then. If you're interested, hit us up on Twiter.
Okay, before we go, the holidays are right around the corner. And last show we showed you the toilet hockey. Here's another gift that you might want to consider getting your loved one.
You are not the father.
Morning game. You are not the father. So pick up this game, figure out what part of your house the backstage is going to be, and have fun with the game.
Oh my god, that's not a real game, is it?
I shit you not, it's a real game. Oh my god. Go to Amazon or Target. It's that's there. Unbelievable. Yeah. Smile. It's just awesome. Oh my god. Yeah. And there is Grogu. Grogu. Yeah, he's a name.
How many pets are gonna be named Grogu now?
Yeah.
I hope we didn't spoil it for anybody.
Oh boy.
It's been 2 weeks. If you haven't seen it now, it's your problem.
Exactly. All right, everyone. Thanks for a great show.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend, everybody. And we'll see you next week. And hopefully next Saturday, there'll be some drunken trivia for us all.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that.